saw in the video, I passed those cops and they stopped me as soon as I was going out to that beautiful area there in Colca Canyon. And yeah, they tried to shake me down. Getting a little stressed here. The ATMs in town weren't working. I'm like low on money. It's like I better find one that works. The ride in here was decent. I mean, pretty, but man, it was cold. It was almost as cold or colder than when I went up to that 5,000 meter town the other day. It's just like, you know, it must have been almost 5,000 meters or something. Anyway, I guess I'll go down the road a little bit, see if I can see part of Colca Canyon, but there's some lightning and stuff, so I think it's going to rain pretty soon. I'm not sure if I should just hang out here, maybe get lunch and then roll out. I was also worried I'd have to go to the only ATM where I see like a line of 20 people waiting for like 5 minutes each. When I go through a lot of towns, I see that people are lined up sometimes down the road to get into the bank. Not always for the ATM, but I was like, oh, I hope I don't have to go there. Definitely would not be fun hiking in that and getting wet and then the temperature's freezing. I don't mind pushing the limits, and I've got a few near-death experience stories already, but I think I'll skip the hypothermia one. Yeah, it's like some of these are opening at 2 o'clock. Like, I don't get it. I guess they have breakfast and then it's closed at lunchtime and then they eat in the afternoon. I mean, obviously, like the bigger places or like those tourist places are open, but I'm trying to find more of the hole in the wall kind of spot. Yeah, finally found a spot. Cool.
You can eat soups,
Nice rice.
lamb soup,
Nice.
dehydrated potatoes,
Cool.
pumpkin cream,
Yeah, that looks good. Yeah, I got salad.
Beef.
Oh yeah.
trout,
Oh nice.
alpaca, pork, chicken.
Yeah,
The
yeah.
option vegetarian food for here with me.
Yeah, yeah, for sure. Yeah, that looks great. Pretty good. A little bit more expensive because, you know, it's a buffet place and it was more like, I don't know, 13 or 14 bucks. Not too bad. And yeah, as you see, the rain finally stopped, so. I'll kind of cruise down the road towards Colca Canyon. Technically, the river starts and some of the canyon starts here. The prettier spots are down the road, like a little ways, and then there's like a $20 fee, so I'm not gonna pay that fee. I'll see if I get some nice footage just with the drone and then kind of head back this way. I might even stay in this town tonight, so yeah. Yeah, now it's on. It's on now. Yeah. It was off. Yeah, Pino and back. Yeah. I just take some photos and then I go back. Yeah.
Yo, lluvia.
Okay. Gracias. Come on. raining again, and no electricity like yesterday. Good thing I brought my headlamp, huh? Got some beers, I'm ready to go. Good thing I didn't keep driving today. I was gonna do like another hour, but I could do 4 hours tomorrow and 4 hours the next day. And good thing I didn't do that peak too, huh? Now I'm a few hours north of that area. I think there is less rain down that way, but still, obviously not good to take any high risks in bad weather conditions. I could just imagine like the last text message on my phone to Charlie being like, "I love you, dude." And then when they find me, I'm just like Jack Nicholson at the end of Shining. Just a frozen corpse there on the mountain. So as you saw in the video, I passed those cops and they stopped me as soon as I was going out to that beautiful area there in Colca Canyon. And yeah, they tried to shake me down because of course that's leading directly to the tourist area basically. And I even saw the guy behind me was a white dude in a car. And you could just imagine if you got like, you know, 20 bucks extra from like 5, 6, 7 vehicles, maybe 10, like you'd probably quadruple your salary. Because they're probably making like 600 bucks to 1,000 bucks a month. And if you could make an extra 100 a day, 5 days a week, just going out there for an hour or two or whatever. So basically what happened was he pulled me over and I went to show my registration and license, which obviously I don't have my license because that was stolen. But I do have a copy in my email in my phone. So it takes, I thought I already had it downloaded, but I couldn't find it right away. So I had to go through my email to get the registration and my driver's license. So that take 3-4 minutes, but it's not like we're in a big rush, right? There's nothing going on really in this town, as you can see. There's nothing going on here but a little rain. And so as I was doing that, obviously they don't know English. And the one other, because there was one guy that was like, a stockier guy about 5'6", another tall guy like me. He might have actually even been maybe like 6'3" or something. It's a pretty tall guy by Peruvian standards. And I just hear dollars. And I was like, oh. I was like, he knows that English word. And I was thinking I should actually congratulate the guy because he knows as much English as I do Spanish. Should have given him a high five and been like, man, that's some good English there, man. I know about 3 words of Spanish, as you can tell in these videos. Would have practiced a bit more if I wasn't working 80 hours a week before I came here. So I showed him, both those documents. And when he saw my American license, and I showed him the M and stuff, he's like, Peruvian license. Something, and I'm like, and I already knew that, just like with Mexico, you could come to most countries. I mean, I don't know about every country in Latin America, but at least up to a month or maybe 90 days or 180 days, it depends. But you don't even need the international driver's license, which to be honest is super easy to get anyway. It's only 25 bucks. And I would have gotten it, but yeah, I've never used it over the years. Like I kept buying them and then they never even check. And like if these guys are trying to shake me down, like they're gonna shake me down anyway, right? Like I could have had the international driver's license and he'd be like, oh, you need to have a Peru license. And so I showed him the document of me getting robbed, of my time in Lima when I got robbed 2 weeks ago. And they took everything they took my wallet and my phone and, my GoPro. And so after he kind of read through that, he like let me go. But if I didn't have that document showing how I got robbed, he would have asked for, I don't know, 10 bucks, 20 bucks. And it's kind of a shame because, obviously in Latin America, it's quite poor and there's a lot of crime. And obviously in places like China, it's richer now, but it was super poor too, right? And they've been able to make a lot of money and become a safe, wealthy country. And that kind of stuff doesn't really happen. Now, there's other kinds of theft there, like I got ripped off doing business, but that everyday kind of theft doesn't happen. And so you could just imagine, like, this actually is kind of a big deal to me because, like, let's say someone in this town steals cars or steals tuk-tuks or whatever, and they know they could get away with it if it's a corrupt cop. And let's say he gets a third of those earnings. And now you got, every week a few people are going to lose, what? Their livelihood or like a huge problem in their life if their stuff's gone. And then the police are going to be like, yeah, we don't know where it's at. We don't know who the thief is. And you can just imagine how devastating that would be for the economy. And, you know, I mean, it's even happening in Denver, Colorado right now. Like, it's one of the, I think, #1 in car theft in the nation. And it's because the police don't do anything. Now, in this way, it's different because it's not just about getting paid off. It's political, and it's like cultural Marxism, basically. It's like, well, if you would only steal a car if you needed it, so we won't put you in jail. But yeah, and of course that will destroy the economy. And yeah, the U.S. is going downhill too for different reasons. And then you got, you know, all these people's cars are stolen, then they can't get to work, they can't send the supplies, and then other businesses fail, and pretty soon, like, the whole economy's ruined. You know, and this is how it happens, just allowing crime to go by. You can't have a society that makes this legal or allows this in any way. And, you know, in America, they're letting people steal up to $1,000 from a store too. Oh man, it's just crazy. Crime creates poverty. It's not that poverty creates crime, because if poverty created crime, all of these East Asian countries were super poor at one time. I mean, even China 40, 50 years ago was much poorer than almost anywhere in the world. And it's not like they just stole everything to get by. And it's not like, I'm sure the people who were in America that founded America that were dirt poor farmers, like, they didn't just steal everything and like make scams to like try to make an amazing nation. You know, like any country that's good. Like, you go to Japan, they follow the rules. You go to Germany, they follow. Like, every country who follows the rules is so much more successful. But yeah, this kind of stuff, you know, is really bad. I mean, the you know, with Pablo Escobar and that stuff, if you see Narcos or have any familiarity with a lot of this stuff over the years in Latin America, you know, the politicians, whether they're left and right, are just pocketing all that money. And, you know, the police are taking all these bribes and stuff to allow people to sell drugs and do crime. And so, you know, it's really a big problem. But it does start with that individual in this little town. It starts with everyone. Everyone's just got to be like, you got to do the right thing, and everyone will get richer for it. You know, this thing with Venezuela, they thought they could run oil refineries. I mean, it's like, do you have all the like experts and scientists and geologists and engineers who could run that equipment? And it's like they take it over and they kick out all the foreign people, and it's like, oh shit, we don't know how to run this shit. And so they'll just blame it on, like, you know, America because of sanctions. It's like, no, you could actually made a lot of money if you didn't kick everyone out. So now all those people could have had jobs, but they tried to take a shortcut. They tried to steal all of those things people invested in, and now the whole country's poor, fleeing to different areas. I wouldn't be surprised if I was robbed by someone from Venezuela. I have no idea, right? Ah, there you are. Thought I was locked out there for a minute. It's all good. Ah, that's the secret here. So you can pull that. Yummy. Fish from yesterday. Delicious. I'll do a little wander. Pretty full from that fish and beers, but I might get a little something else. Walk around a bit. Yeah, so good. And, you know, the best places are those cheap ones on, you know, they have the main square with, you know, the Western places with the pizza mixed with some local food. And you just kind of go down the little alley looking, and you can see locals going there. And that's what you got to do. I mean, I had already ate that fish. I didn't even think I'd eat much, and I ended up eating, you know, most of that because it's so tasty, and it's only like $2.75 compared to a lot of these other places. They're going to be like $10, right? So I was just chatting with Charlie about if we're going to go to Machu Picchu or not. And it's kind of like the Bolivia thing. It's just a big hassle and expensive. It's just so, it's like with Bolivia, you know, it's like usually you just go to a border and you show passport photos and you know, copies of your passport or something. And they're like, we want your bank statement. We want your like flight info, you know, leaving and your accommodation and all this stuff. And it's like, you know, why don't you just get my, you know, fingerprints, my DNA samples, my high school diploma, my parents' marriage certificate? Like, just why would you make all these huge loops to jump through in addition to like, I don't know, $130 or $150? And it's like, it's just because the government's greedy and they're a bunch of criminals too. Now, if they just made that free and easy and I could get my motorcycle in easily, because of course, with the motorcycle, they need all the original documents of your title and your registration and all this stuff. And it's like, dude, I don't have all that stuff. And so I would have gone into that country, probably spent $500 or $1,000. That would have trickled through the economy and they would have gotten part of that tax money back. But the people would have gotten more, but the government's greedy, right? And so, and it's all about one of those governments, I'm for the people and all this bullshit. And so Machu Picchu is just another annoying hassle. It's like, I can understand the timed reservation thing because they have too many people, right? But it's like you can only take the train there, which is $60 each way, US. And I think it's like $50 to get in. And then Charlie was gonna like meet a guide the next day to talk about that. And that guy's gonna want $50 each, right? So the whole thing's like, I'm gonna spend $250 to see, you know, Machu Picchu. Who cares? Like, that's why I didn't even consider doing it when I came here. I'm like, I'm not going to any places that like make me spend a lot of money and it's not even like easy to do. Like, it's not like you could just go online, like book it easily. It's like no one really knows exactly. Like, you can't get it when you're in Lima. You have to be kind of like near there or talk to. And I'm sure that train's a monopoly too. Like, you know, charge it $60 each way. Like, they could make a road up there where people could go naturally, but it's like, oh no, you gotta take the train. And I'm not a big fan of monopolies because I can't do tourists in Colorado because of monopolies. They've appointed a few companies who are allowed to take tourists out, and I'm not one of the chosen few. Some people are more equal than others, apparently. So anything that like pays the government a bunch of money in monopolies, I'm like, no fucking way, dude. You should earn your fucking money the right way. Good customer service and good business practices in general, and not the government making up some bullshit scam or whatever. So there's actually a lot of other cool Incan sites around Machu Picchu or around Cusco in general. Like, there's tons of cool towns and stuff. And so yeah. And honestly, like the best stuff, like, I mean, you can see my videos, like the videos on the road are just beautiful. It's amazing. And a lot of these little towns are cool. You know, as soon as you go into like, even today it was really pretty, but yeah, you go to a tourist area and then the cops are trying to fucking shake whatever, $20 for me or something, like total bullshit. So yeah, that's why I totally avoid big tourist places for a reason. It's like, who cares? So anyway, I got my, this looks like a special beer. This is, let's see what we got here going on. Four Loko. Like 12% drink. I'm sure pure garbage, but I'll be asleep in 45 minutes, so it's all good.